if you're someone who's very enthusiastic as a UX researcher or a UX designer and want to know what are the different tips you have to know when you're conducting the interviews, then this video is for you. Hi everyone, I'm Shamla. So this YouTube channel is all about a quick 10-minute short videos on my experiences on different situations. It is professional, educational and health relevant. Do share, like and subscribe to this channel and spread a word on this channel. So let the knowledge spread to everyone else and let it help to everyone. This video is all about top ethical tips that you should know when you're conducting interviews. See, this I have observed when I myself took a UX design course from scratch from different from different centers and from different online courses. They usually don't teach this. This is purely what I learned from my master's degree doing in London. So this is an ethical ways you should definitely know when you're conducting interviews. Not everyone will say this. This is purely as per my experience, what I learned during my master's. Okay, from the overall work experience I've done till now. Okay, so what are we waiting for then? Let's start the video. My first tip would be, you should know there's something called ethical documents. Okay, like the first thing is the way it goes is whenever you're conducting interviews or initial interviews, when you want to find the ideal participants, you tend to circulate like a Google form, okay, and just put up certain questions which will act as a participant screener. Okay, like you need to identify if these are the ideal participants or not for your research. Okay, so you can just circulate like a simple Google form and then identify if they are my ideal participants or not, and that is how you can do your participant screening. And after that only you will be you'll be sending, after you have filtered out the participants from the screener form responses, whatever you would have got, you will circulate with a something like participant information sheet, which will involve what is the process of your conducting the interview, how long it will take, and the certain rules like your names will be anonymized and all needs to be there in the participant information sheet. You need to be conversing this information through the mail formally with your participants, because it needs to be ethical. Okay, you'll be sending something like participant information sheet. Okay, and then also interview script will be definitely with you, because those are the questions you'll be asking to your participants. So you need to send a participant information sheet and a consent form. So the first step would be, you need to get signed with your consent form, which you have to send it through the mail with your participant information sheet after you finalize your participants. Before getting your signature in the consent form, you cannot go ahead taking the interview, because that is unethical. Okay, you have to know this. This is one of the first tip I would like to give. And the second tip would be, it is better if you conduct your interviews in teams. Okay, the thing is, because if you're a master student or if you're doing it in general, in teams you would have something called as transcription. Okay, if you turn on the transcription as you conduct the interview, it will be easier for you to note down the points what you captured during the interview, because not every point you can take a note down, right, when you're conducting the interview, like the ideal pointers and the pain points you identify with the conversation when you're having with the interviews. So my suggestion would be, whenever you're conducting an interview in teams and all, turn on the with taking the consent from the participant, that I'll be turning on the transcription and I'll be recording the whole session. Take their consent, turn on the transcription, and then start your interview. So this transcription will help you analyze, take up the key points, what happens in your conversation, so which will help you save up time. So this is the second tip I would like to give. The third tip I would like to give is, never call out the participant names or their address or their college name during your interview. Yes, you, in none of the online courses they give you this guidance. You should know it. Okay, it is very unethical. Some become very conscious and they even complain, and even they put it to court. Okay, if this particular interview will be misused, some will be very scared that if this particular information will be misused to some other means. So you should be very careful, okay? When you're conducting interviews, you should never call out the participant names, their address or college name, okay, without their consent. Okay, without their consent, you should never call out their names, address or college name. You should always know, because some will file the cases. I'm telling you, you need to be very careful. None of the online courses they say, okay, you need to be very careful with this. So this is the third tip I would like to give. Never call out the participant names, address and college name during the interview call. You have to be very careful with that, without the consent of the participant. Okay, this is the third tip. And in fact, you have to, even in the participant information sheet, you have to mention that your name will be anonymized during the interview call. Okay, that also you should know. Okay, that is also one more thing you need to understand. The fourth tip I would like to give is always never turn on the video. Okay, until unless you're conducting an activity, you have to make sure the faces, if you have turned on the video in the interview call, make sure the faces are masked. That is also illegal. Without the participants' consent, you can never show the faces in an interview call and utilize it in your company or anywhere for any other purposes. Because some people are they get scared that what if their face or anything is misused for some other reasons. So always, if you are turning on your video in the interview calls, definitely make sure you mask the faces. There is a feature in the Teams and all, you should know it. Okay, like before you even conduct an interview, just prepare yourself that how to mask faces in the interview call and all and everything. Okay, without their consent, you can never use their videos like with their faces and all for any other purposes. And also you have to mask their names. Make sure you don't mention their names in the interview call, because that also gets recorded in the video. Make sure those names are anonymized in the form of participant 1, participant 2, participant 3, if you're doing like focus groups and all. Okay, never show their names also in the interview, because that is also illegal. You have to always anonymize, mask their faces and mask the names as well on the Teams call. There is a feature. This you have to be very alert even before you conduct your interviews. Okay, so this is the fourth tip I would like to give. Always keep it anonymized is my tip. My fifth tip would be, in interviews, always tell participants that your name will be anonymized. Okay, because some will be very conscious, what if you're recording their names and things like that. I know it will be visible, but in a way it's better you just inform them that your name will be anonymized and this session will be recorded. Is the consent there from your side? If I can record the session and I can even like anonymize your names. I've anonymized your names. You need to mention this. Oh, this is one of the 6 tips I would like to give. So because this is as per the rules, you have to follow it. As I said, some file cases, if this information is misused, some will be scared of it. Okay, so make sure you mention all these things when you're conducting the interviews. The 6th tip I would like to give is, you have a tool. Okay, there would be like in the see, by any chance, by mistake, if you have forgotten to anonymize the names in the interview call or something, in the transcription you would have a chance to re-edit it, because when you can download the transcription, you can change the names of it. Okay, because you will get the downloadable format of transcription in the Microsoft Teams through Word format. Okay, so there you can anonymize. But once the session is recorded in the Teams, it cannot be changed. Okay, you have to initially change the names before you even start the session recording in the Teams call. Like, you have to anonymize the names. Okay, don't make such mistakes, because starting itself, make sure you're prepared correctly and then start recording the session with the participants' consent. Okay, anonymize it as participant 1, 2 and 3, so that will actually help you to save up a lot of time. Okay, and also transcriptions are very important. Transcriptions will actually help you to do the thematic analysis and also do the affinity diagrams rightly. So it will save up time. Instead of sitting and listening to the recording again and again, this transcription would give you a clear-cut information where you can just underline the pointers and you can utilize it for your further research, UX research. Okay, so this is the 6th tip I would like to give. So I hope these tips of mine from my pure experience on ethical things you need to remember when you're conducting interviews in UX research or in anywhere. Okay, this is in general as well, so you need to understand these tips. So I hope this video was helpful. So put it in the comments as to how helpful it was. Do like this video, share this video, and subscribe to my channel. See you in the next video then. Bye. And also hit on the bell icon to get notified with more of my videos, so it would be helpful to you. Okay, see you in the next video then. Bye.